Yeah.
Hello, I'm Ruth. I was born in Mexico City in 1946. I come from a family of two kids. My youngest brother was born in 1949 and now he lives in Israel. My father was born in Berlin, Germany in 1909, one of seven children. My mother was born in Wien, Austria in 1921 and she had two sisters. They got married in Mexico City where they met in October 1942. My father came to Mexico in 1938 from Spain through Cuba and Veracruz in a ship, and took him a month to get to Mexico City. He didn't know anyone in Mexico. The only thing he knew it was the language because he used to live in Spain for the last years of his life. It was very hard for him to start a living because thanks to the Jewish community in Mexico, he got a job with a Jewish man who had a doll factory. My mother was the middle one. My grandmother came to Mexico because of the bad situation in Europe, and my grandfather started a business that he had before in Europe of razors, blades, and locks. It was very hard for him to start here, and he used to sell things in downtown, in the streets. My mother had to go back to Europe because her older sister wasn't feeling too well because of the altitude in Mexico. So they had to send the two oldest daughters to Germany to a border school. And in the weekends they had some relatives who took care of them. It was a very tough life for a child of 9 years old to be out and away from their parents for almost more than 2 years. She had to go, when she came back to Mexico, she studied in Mexico, her high school, and then she ended studying to be a secretary. My father was a mechanic engineer. He had a mirror factory for several years where they worked very hard, both of them. My mother passed away very young at the age of 52. I studied in Mexico interior designer, and at the age of 19 I got married with Billy Shapiro, who was in that time a CPA, and now he's retired. We got married in 1965. Now I love to do jewelry and I work as a volunteer. We have three daughters. Sandra, she's the oldest. She's an architect. Sylvia is a nutritionist, and Ilana is an interior designer. They were all born in Mexico City. We have from these three children 8 grandchildren, 4 boys and 4 girls, from the age of 19 down to 9. We miss the 3 of San Diego. They are the children of Ilana and Eddie, and now they live for a few years already in San Diego, and the other 5, they live in Mexico City. They're all in Jewish schools.